So while Donald Trump and his neo-fascist yes-men and sycophants are dismantling our democracy and firing 80,000 members of the VA, including our veterans, well, our veterans have decided to strike back. There was a Veterans March in Washington, D.C. It's also still going on all across the nation, but seemingly no major news outlets would cover it. Fox didn't cover it, CNN didn't cover it, MSNBC didn't cover it. I had to go all the way to fucking military.com just to bring up an article about this. National Mall protest against Trump administration includes veterans hurt by cuts. Protesters, including veterans, took to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. on Friday, March 14th, my brother's birthday, to voice their displeasure about cuts to the federal workforce. At the Department of Veterans Affairs, more than 80,000 employees are expected to be fired later this year. Right? Now, guys, before we do a deep dive in here, I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me a lot. If you do want to support the channel financially, you could buy some merch, some of this dope-ass merch. You could also use the link down below to get 20% off Ground News, and you could become a member for $5 to get early access to these videos. I've got no funding. I've never had a conversation with a billionaire or a corporation or an advertiser or a foreign government. So, if you want to help me out because I need fucking money, that's how you help me out. But let's dive into it, guys. Veterans were among the several thousand protesters who amassed on the National Mall on Friday to rally against the Trump administration's unilateral deep cuts to the federal government. Let me zoom in here for you guys. There we go. The veterans who joined Friday's protest ranged from ones who have been frequent protesters to first-timers, from Vietnam veterans, shout out Dad, to global war on terrorism veterans, and from those who have been personally hit by the cuts to those who simply felt it was their duty to speak out as veterans. Quote, I think it's wrong that veterans such as myself, as well as everyone across the country, has to go through this autocracy, this oligarchy that we live in today, said Vincent Camacho, who added he served in the Air Force for 24 years, from 2000 until last year. So, a big lie that you'll hear all the time is, well, our military, really supports Donald Trump. No. Our military supports the Constitution. Our military supports democracy, much like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I stand for democracy! For the Republic! But the military takes an oath to the Constitution. They don't take an oath to Donald fucking Trump, okay? Their oath is to defend the Constitution from enemies both foreign and domestic. And what they're seeing right now is that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are threats. They're domestic, but they're still threats, especially if they're weakening American hegemony across the entire fucking planet by using Doge to illegally defund our very institutions. And we've talked about this before, guys. We have inspector generals who target waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, we did have inspector generals until Donald Trump fired all of them. But if you want to go after too much government regulation, the way that you do that is by getting the House to propose a bill. You get Congress and Senate to sign off on it, and then it's sent over to the president, and he's got to sign it too. That's how you get a bill done. You don't create an illegal institution that works outside of the government who is spearheaded by a foreign-born, unelected billionaire, nearly trillionaire, who did a Sig Heil on the world stage twice right before giving a speech at a Nazi rally in Germany, the Alternative für Deutschland. That's who Elon Musk is. And Donald Trump has given him all of this power simply because Elon was the highest bidder. If it was Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, whoever was able to bid the highest and said, hey, Donald, I'll get you elected if in exchange you give me the wheel to the presidency and you let me drive. That's what's going on. Okay, so I've got some videos of this. Let's pull it up for you. Check this out. I don't even know what they're chanting.
We're still serving today. We're still serving today.
Thank you something. I don't know what they're saying. Fuck, Trusk. That's so fucking funny. Trump and Musk, I like that. Trusk. I might start calling that couple Trusk. But I got a couple more videos.
Are building a movement that starting today, we will be mobilizing in every state, in every district, in every community across this nation. We are building a movement that no politician and no media can ignore. We will make sure that every Republican in Congress knows that their silence is complicity, and that complicity is a death sentence to our democracy.
Exactly. You gotta hold your congressman responsible, especially if you have Republican congressmen who won't stand up to this fucking bully, Donald Trump. There are some Republican congressmen who are standing their ground. People like Adam Kinzinger who are saying to Trump, like, you go fuck yourself, dude. Let's keep watching, and then I'll bring up some of Adam.
And we will make sure that every Democrat faces a similar reckoning.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter whether your whether your representative is a Democrat or Republican. Democrats, if your congressmen are doing absolutely nothing to defend you and your constituents from Elon's Doge cuts, call them out. We talked about this in my last video, though we were covering the Republican town halls. If you are curious for, like, hey, Chris, what do I do? How do I fight against this fascist coup? You go to your town halls. You fucking yell and kick and scream, and you make your voice heard. You have to get your representatives to understand that if they do nothing, they will not be reelected. Holy shit, that was a fly. I think I got it. I got no corpse, so maybe it's flying around. But that must have been the fruit fly. It was a tiny motherfucker.
Because allowing fascism to take hold is just as unacceptable as practicing it.
Exactly.
My message to Chuck Schumer.
Fuck you, Chuck Schumer.
My message to Chuck Schumer. To every Democrat who voted to censure Al Green. And every Democrat who fails to understand what Trump is and validate.
You hear that, Hakeem Jeffries, you fucking loser? You hear that, Nancy Pelosi, you fucking coward?
Him by voting for anything. Wake the fuck up!
Yes! Yes! That's the fucking energy we need. Wake the fuck up!
Wake the fuck up!
The fuck up. Wake the fuck up. This just gave me chills. Look at that man. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
Like these. Yesterday.
That's probably like a Vietnam or Korean War veteran. Holy shit. That's what we need. Sorry for getting emotional, but that's what we fucking need. If my father were alive right now, at 73, I know damn well he would have gotten me in the car and drove all the way up to D.C. and been chanting, "Wake the fuck up!" This is to all my veteran followers, to all my active duty service members. This guy doesn't give a fuck if you live or die. He's gonna send you to Yemen or Lebanon or Gaza or Greenland or Mexico or Panama or Canada. He doesn't care if you live or die. I'm sorry, my audio's getting too loud. But I don't understand how the rest of the nation isn't as angry as I am. My father fought for this country. My father got cancer because he served for this country. Because the fucking powers that be thought it would be a good idea to drop Agent Orange and scatter it across our soldiers. Shout out Robert McNamara. Hope you're fucking roasting in hell, fuckface. But the veterans of this nation are the glue that hold us together. The people who were willing to sacrifice fucking everything. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk are forsaking them, throwing them to the fucking wind. They think of them as weapons, not people. It's a disgrace.
Yesterday, Chuck Schumer told us that he's going to give Trump permission to destroy our government because Trump would do it anyway under a shutdown. That is the definition of anticipatory obedience. It's also the worst political betrayal in American history.
Absolutely. Deported veterans. I haven't even talked about this, guys. We have deported veterans in this nation. Not only just U.S. citizens, but veterans of the United States military. And fucking Tom Homan and his dirty, disgusting, alcoholic, chinless face have decided it is in our nation's best interest to start deporting U.S. military veterans. MAGA, come home. You do not need to stand with these people forever. You do not need to stand in this cult. I understand about 30% of this nation wants to see the fucking world burn. They feel disenfranchised because they're fucking incel white losers. And they follow people like Nick Fuentes and they think Kanye West is based. I'm not talking to those people. The red hat wearing, Trump flag in the background, Trump clan tag on Call of Duty fucking losers. They are in a cult and there is no saving them. But to the rest of you who fell for the whole shtick. There's two different Trumps. There's Trump in the campaign and there's Trump the president. You thought Trump on the campaign was a real guy. Oh, peaceful dove. I'm going to end the war in 24 hours. We're going to lower the price of eggs. That's not real. That was phony bullshit and you fucking fell for it. But it's okay to admit that you were wrong and join your fellow man in the fight against fascism. You do not need to be the fascist. You do not need to be the monster under the bed. You could be the dad that comes to help. I don't understand. I don't understand what happened to you.
The Democrats are capitulating without calling for a single protest or strike. They're losing without even trying. An entire branch of their power is being left unused. So hear us, Democrats. When your nation needs you to stand strong, you're submitting.
That's
your
true.
Cowardice will forever be your legacy.
You hear that, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries? Your cowardice will forever be your legacy. People like me will not let the public forget that you're a fucking pussy who stood on the side of nothing while Trump and Elon dismantled our fucking democracy. I want children one day. And I want my children to be able to vote for their leaders. I don't want them to have to live under the rule of a fucking king. But you, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, every pussyfooting Democrat that refuses to stand up to this man, you profit from this. Your insider trading has lined your pockets so fat that you don't give a fuck about democracy. You don't give a shit about Democrat or Republican. The only color you see is green. And we see right through your fucking bullshit. People like Ro Khanna are proposing real legislation so that you motherfuckers have term limits. And you're going to have to actually capitulate to your constituents instead of fooling us into voting you into power. Your power is going to get stolen from you, and people like me are going to rise up, and we're going to use it. Mark my fucking words. I'm coming for that seat, Chuck. I'm coming for that seat.
Shame on you!
I'd also like to note something, MAGA. Notice how those people didn't storm the Capitol? Notice how they didn't try to break into the fucking building? Notice how they didn't assault all the Capitol police officers and drive tasers into their neck and steal their riot shields and bash in the glass and climb in and take a shit inside of our fucking Capitol building? That's called decorum. Okay? I understand Trump pardoned all of the January 6th rioters, even if they were heinously violent and assaulted police officers. And which is something you'll support because, you know, back the blue means fucking nothing as long as Donald Trump tells you to stop backing the blue for a couple of hours, right? Because you don't have morals and you don't have ethics. Yeah, that's the problem. Now, I wanted to bring up an example of a Republican congressman who actually has a pair of balls. Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Not only is he a veteran, but he is actively standing up to Donald Trump. I have a couple of his posts from Instagram here, and I want to play two of them. This is about Elon.
Hey, I just had a quick thought. Wouldn't it be cool if the guy that got $38 billion in handouts from the federal government and is now worth $500 billion because of that, wouldn't it be cool if he was not the guy telling everybody what they can live without and slashing parts of government that people need? They just slashed Voice of America, which, by the way, costs almost nothing and is one of the most effective ways to push back against Russian propaganda and Chinese propaganda and Iranian propaganda. They're kind of picking a side. Just a thought. Yeah, I just had a quick thought.
Trump is on the side of Russian propaganda. There's a reason why we stopped all defense against Russian cyber attacks. We did that. I'm not sure if you know this. Trump signed an executive order that makes the United States Defense Department halt all defense against Russian cyber attacks. Now, why is that? It's because when you open up TikTok and you see all of those comments that are like from the same profile picture, yeah, those are Russian bots. Trump is deploying Russian bots in order to keep his fraudulent approval rating up, and it's fucking plummeting regardless. But he's so desperate that he's gotten to the point where he is deploying Russian bots, okay? And Elon Musk has gotten over $38 billion in government grants. All in the meanwhile, he's dismantling our institutions, defunding USAID, defunding the anti-scam police, defunding the FAA, defunding the SEC, defunding Social Security, defunding Medicaid, defunding Medicare, defunding fucking food stamps. Defunding everything and everything because that motherfucker never has to want for anything. His generations of children will never have to want for anything because he has more money than God. And yet he's got the audacity to be bitching and moaning about his Tesla stock plummeting. Go fuck yourself. Teslas are the worst electric vehicles on the market and yet the most fucking expensive. Okay, there's a reason why the Department of Transportation opened up an investigation into Tesla. It's because these self-driving cyber cabs are unsafe. And then you know what Elon Musk did and Doge? Defunded the Department of Transportation. It's almost like if you target Elon Musk and his many failed industries, you will be targeted by Elon Musk. How strange is that? We got a second post from Adam here, and I love this one. This one's shitting on Trump.
So I just saw that Trump is like threatening the January 6th committee again. Listen, this dude knows, he knows that this is like the thing that embarrasses him. He won't admit it embarrasses him because he's trying to like pretend like he didn't do anything. He's obsessed. He's more obsessed with like me and Liz Cheney than his freaking golf score. Hey, Trump, bring it on, dude.
Fuck
you
yeah,
weak,
Adam.
whiny, tiny man who, by the way, I saw a picture of you this weekend. You're hiking up your pants now to really just below your man boobs, and you're sweating so much.
Oh, my God.
Like,
this is a congressman.
Looking pretty bad there. But bring it, man. Like, stop with all the big mouth talking stuff. You're a grown man. You don't talk like one, but you're a grown man. Come on, dude. Bring it. So I just...
Now, note, Adam was a fucking pilot in the Air Force, bro. Adam used to fly fucking A-10 Thunderbolts, dude. Okay, that's a real fucking man. Donald Trump is a draft-dodging coward. While fucking 17-year-old Mark Valenti, my father, was waning through the jungles of fucking Quezon, Donald Trump was sitting eating caviar, probably with ketchup, because he's a gross motherfucker. Veterans, this is the man for you. U.S. Congressman and military pilot, this is the man who is willing to stand up to bullies. Not Mango Mussolini, okay? Or Elon Hitler, okay? That's all I got for you today, guys. I wanted to give you an example of a savior of the Republican Party because the thing is, what you're seeing today is not the Republican Party. The Republican that your father and grandfather were, that's gone. It's been replaced by MAGA. That's why people like Adam have been labeled as rhinos, Republican in name only, okay? Because they don't support Trump. Meanwhile, this is a real Republican. I'm not a Republican. Me and Adam probably disagree on fucking 90% of ideas. But yet, he's willing to stand up and do shit legally. That's all I got for you today. I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me a lot. And if you want to help the channel monetarily, you could buy merch. You could use the link in the description to get 20% off Ground News. And you could become a member to the channel for $5. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in.